looking for ways to empower your dyslexic? If you are, I have 7 tips for you. My name is Kathleen, by the way, and I'm a dyslexic here to help other dyslexics. I help busy, overwhelmed parents understand their child's frustration with dyslexia so they can support, encourage, and empower them. Dyslexia is very complex and there is so much to it, and it affects each individual different. Sometimes you have a mild case and sometimes there is a profound case. And so understanding all of dyslexia is very, very important to help individuals feel empowered and know more about it. So with that being said, we are going to jump into 7 tips I have to help empower your child. So tip number 1 is help your child understand that they are dyslexic. So this is going to include help them understand the advantages of being a dyslexic and also the challenges. I don't think you're going to need to spend much time explaining the challenges, but help them understand that why they are struggling is because of the way their brain processes information. Tip number 2 is help them understand that learning certain things like reading, writing, and spelling, sometimes math, are challenging because they have dyslexia or a specific learning disability. So this would be sitting down and just saying that that your brain processes information differently. And with processing information, some things are going to become very easy for you, like doing other things, including having fun playing, creating things, taking things apart, putting things together, are much easier for you compared to reading, writing, spelling, and sometimes doing math. Luckily, there are workarounds and we can try to find it. You're going to continue to have to work hard to understand and do these things, but we will help you find the best solution that works for you. So tip number 3 is help them understand that memory recall, or recalling the information they learned previously, sometimes is a challenge. I still remember my dad explaining this to me, and it does kind of date me, but I'm okay with that. So he sat down and explained it to me that basically we put the information we learn on a piece of paper to make this visual and help people understand. And then we take that piece of paper and we put it into a filing cabinet or a drawer. And there it is stored, and there it is. But then the next day, or whenever we need that information again, we go to the filing cabinet, which is full of pieces of information that you've learned in the past. And you're digging and digging and digging for that one piece of information that you learned, that one piece of paper, through all of the information you've learned. And it might be challenging and you might not remember exactly where you put it, but that piece of paper is still in that filing cabinet. I hope that helps kind of explain and make it more visual into why we're having trouble with memory recall. Tip number 4 is help them with self-advocacy. Help them learn to speak up for themselves and advocate for themselves, asking for what they need. Self-advocacy is very important. It's something that has come about lately, and I just love this because it's something I didn't know about and didn't know how to do. But it's very, very important to learn as early as possible to advocate for yourself, so parents aren't having to do all of the work. Because I know whenever something happened, I would tell my parents and my parents would fix it instead of me learning how to fix it myself. So when I went off to college and went into the world myself, business world myself, I didn't know how to advocate for myself because I hadn't been practicing the entire time. I hadn't been taking small steps to know that this is okay to ask for help, and there are laws to protect me. There are things out there, and that I need to do this for myself because I respect myself and care for myself. Tip number 5 is take time to help them figure out their advantages. So the advantages of being a dyslexic. Growing up, I had no clue that I was actually good at things. All I knew is that I struggled to learn how to read, write, and spell, where it came easy to everybody else, and I literally sat there in the classroom and watched them. And it was frustrating because it was like, why doesn't my brain work like that? I just want to be like everybody else. I just want to fit in. Unfortunately, we were born to stand out. And it's not so much unfortunately, it's we were born to stand out. We were born to be out of the box thinkers, and we were born to be unique individuals, which is awesome once you figure out those advantages and you learn how to use them to get what you want. So that could be a mechanic and taking things apart and putting them back together. That could be an entrepreneur owning your own business, doing exactly what you want. That could be an inventor inventing new things to help change the world. The list of advantages in the way our brain processes information to benefit not only us, but everybody around us is long. And it's so encouraging to know that, yes, there are limitations here, but there are unlimited advantages later on that help us be unique. Tip number 6 is figure out how to overcome challenges. So this is really easy to do, and it's going to take some time, but when you start to think about it, okay, we struggle with reading. We are in a structured reading program, but we need to keep up with our classmates. So what are things that we can do? Most of the time, this comes down to figuring out assistive technology to help a child. If you would like more information about assistive technology, leave it in the comments and I will create a video for you about that. So assistive technology is things that have been invented to help make life easier. So I'll give you an example. For me, reading would take forever, and it still does. So I use assistive technology to get through it quickly. I have a program on my computer where I literally pull up a website, dump the PDF in it, and the PDF is read to me. And I love the fact that it highlights the words because I can follow along, and it starts to kind of make it more multisensory. Is this cheating? Absolutely not. The thing is it gives me my time back because I'm not spending 2 and 3 times reading the PDF to understand it. Because when you struggle to read, you're going to spend the first time decoding, trying to figure out the words. But when you're doing that, you're not going to be understanding what you're reading for comprehension. So you're going to have to go back after you figured out all those words and read it again for comprehension. So you have to read it at least twice. But when you bring in assistive technology, the figuring out what those words are taken out and you can read it for understanding, which allows you to keep up with your classmates and get your time back and do other things besides struggling with something that is hard. Another example is speech to text. I love speech to text because I'm able to dictate what I am thinking. And this works for me because I am able to speak my mind. I'm not worried about how to spell a word. I'm not worried about, once I get this information out, I'm not going to be able to remember the words because I can't sound out the misspelled words I wrote, because that was a huge challenge. Whenever I would go to write something, I would have a brilliant idea, or what I thought was brilliant, write it down, and then I would go back because it was time to work on the writing piece and have no clue what was written there. That happens so many times. And so with having text to speech, that goes away and I can brainstorm a little bit faster, allowing me to get my time back. So assistive technology and accommodations, and I will link my accommodations video here. So check that one out. And it honestly gives us our time back and helps us overcome our challenges so we can focus on the positives of being a dyslexic. So tip number 7 is help them understand that dyslexia will help them with their career paths. Dyslexia is slowly starting to be more and more embraced as everybody realizes and comes forward and talks about their dyslexia, that dyslexia really does give us an advantage in the workplace. And with our unique thinking and things that we are good at, it allows us to stand out and give companies competitive edges and advantages because we are able to simplify things, to make things easier, to invent things that help make life easier. We're able to do so many things, and helping them understand that they need to embrace dyslexia, learn about it, and use it to their advantage will definitely help boost their self-esteem. Those are the 7 tips I have for you today. I hope you use them to help empower your dyslexic. I am here to support you in any way. I love questions. I love when people reach out and let me know that this is helping them. So thank you to everybody that has reached out recently. I've really enjoyed it. And I am here to support you in helping you figure out what way to support your child and create a career. If they're going back to school this fall, if we need to figure out how to get them evaluated to get services, what services they should be providing, or if you need help figuring out the best structured literacy program for them, I'm here to help with that. Also, I am a Wilson tutor, and so I am certified to teach structured literacy to your child, and I do have a few openings this fall. And if you are interested in that, just go ahead and send me an email, and I will put my email in the description and we can talk about that. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye, guys.